Over centuries, the barbarians' legacy has faded. Their ancestors were mighty warriors who conquered the lands, but only their spirits remain. Their settlements grow smaller as time passes. Desperate to reclaim their former glory, the last remaining leaders forged one final outpost, a training ground for the strongest warriors. Here, only the fiercest would face the ultimate test, barbarian assault. Whoever defeats the penance queen would become the one they follow, yet thousands have tried, and all have failed. Now, a new recruit, Chunk Raid, has set his sights on the impossible. If he can conquer the leader's tests, he can reclaim the barbarian legacy and conquer the world, one chunk at a time. Alright, we are in the starter chunk here at Barbarian Assault. To start off, if I sound a little bit weird, I know it's been a while since I made a video, but I currently am sick. But I'm going to push on regardless because, you know what, I want to play and it's super exciting. So, real quick, just to cover the rules, if you're new to the chunk man for whatever reason, it is a 64 by 64 tile chunk on the map when you break it up into chunks. So you can see it. Obviously, everything else is outlined in the dark. So I have to complete everything in this chunk before moving on to the next one. Now, the only exception I gave myself is completing the Alfred's bar crawl, which gives me access to the outpost here. It really doesn't do me anything, but for the lore of the story, I felt it was fitting to actually get it completed. Doing so, I did accidentally unlock 2 easy diaries for the Karumja tasks here because I needed some money and obviously traveling around doing the bar crawl. So that was whoopsies on my part, but nothing crazy. I don't think we'll be going to Karumja anytime soon anyways. I also got a book of knowledge, which I believe I am going to put it on agility, which I will go into depth here in a second. But let's go into the outpost and take a look around. Well, here, I'll just explain it now anyway. So here's the level 35 agility course. So I did not give myself 35 agility because there's really nothing in here that's super crazy. This course does give strength XP now, I believe, but I didn't want to give myself 35 agility off the start, so I'll probably just lamp to 35. Don't think that'll ever happen in this chunk anyways, but to the north of us is a agility shortcut, a very bad one too, by the way. So I want to probably get my agility levels up as fast as possible. Ooh, there's a chest here. Is there anything in this chest? I didn't even notice there was a chest in here. Let me take a look. Search the chest. Nothing. Okay, well, why would you even put that there? All right, well, there's the scorpion for the scorpion catcher quest. We do not have any purpose for it. We could kill some barbarians, which have pretty much nothing relatively super good, but there are some best slot items that I will have to obtain, and then the chickens in there. So let's go ahead and go over every single thing that I need to accomplish in this chunk. So I made this little program to help keep track of all of these tasks that I need to complete. So if we enter our task or our chunk number here, then it will display all of the tasks that we need to complete. So I'm going to spend some time covering this just to walk you guys through it and talk about every single task that needs to be completed in this specific chunk. So here's our item tasks that we need to complete, collection logs and whatnot. We have our skills and then obviously the diaries in quest as well. So as far as the items go, most of these are obviously obtained through the minigame itself, and they're honestly pretty decent items, nothing too crazy. The Penance Queen pet is by far the most difficult that we have to obtain. Now, there's actually 2 items on this list that I did not include, and that is the Dragon Chain Body and the Dragon Med Helm, and that's because those are a 1 in 16,000 drop rate for each item. So if you're not familiar with Barbarian Assault, you can roughly get about 2 high gambles an hour. So that would mean it would be 8,000 hours for 1 dragon item if you were to hit the drop rate. And that's not even including if you went dry. So for both those items, on drop rate would take 16,000 hours. That's just a meme drop. So I'm not going to include that. It's almost like the Onyx from the gem bag in Motherland Mine. If you were to roll that, it's a meme drop. You can't really obtain it. I see a lot of extreme Iron Man rules say that they will obtain every single item from a minigame, but I'm willing to bet that they have not or are nowhere close to Barbarian Assault, so they really don't mean that. But yeah, we're not including those items, but we are including the Penance Queen pet, which is a 1 in 1,000 drop rate. So that will take on drop rate about 500 hours or a little bit more to actually obtain it. So that is the items. Now the Penance Skirt I can't actually equip. That requires 65 ranged, or it's 60, 65, something like that. But everything else we can't equip. Now the staff here is technically our best in slot. The chunk picker tells us that the rune dagger is the best in slot for magic, but that's because only level 10 barbarians drop them, and those are located in the outpost, and the chunk picker does not realize that we have the outpost unlocked. Now, theoretically, I could get a lava battle staff from the minigame, which is better than the normal staff, but that requires 30 magic, and there's legitimately no way to train magic in this chunk outside of getting air runes from random events. So if I do end up getting 30 magic somehow, then I will include that as our best in slot instead of the normal staff. Moving on to the skill requirements, obviously these combat stats are required to actually equip some of the items. Woodcutting is for the rune axe that I could achieve. Now cooking and fire making, those two skills I kind of threw into this chunk myself. They aren't originally requirements, but I can obtain a raw shark and magic logs from the gambles. And theoretically, I've seen a lot of people use bonfires at the bank here, so technically I could cook on the bonfire and I can throw logs on it for fire making XP. So just to make things a little bit more difficult for myself, I've included those as well, because it's kind of hard to stare at a bonfire and not use it, you know what I mean? So I did include those as well, which were not originally part of the task. And then finally we have a few diary tasks as well as the Alfred's bar crawl. Technically is only step 1 that I need to complete, but we've completed the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this one as completed. If I click on it, it should complete it. There it is. 1 task out of 26 completed. Only 25 more to go, or we'll get there in no time, right? But yeah, the next thing I'm going to start working on is probably the drops from the barbarians and just training up my combat stats to work towards those as well. So we're aiming for the staff and the iron mace at the moment. And then that's pretty much it outside of the minigame itself. There's not a whole lot of items outside of the minigame that we can actually obtain. So that's what I'm going to be working on for now. So I figured I'd show you the rewards you can obtain from the minigame. There's low gambles, medium gambles, and high gambles. Each one gives different resources, obviously. Ideally, I want to stick to the high gambles because that is the only chance at the pet that I can get. The low and mediums do not give us that opportunity, but there are some things in the low and medium gambles as well that I will have to try and achieve. For the low gambles, I will be looking for the rune axe, rune dagger, and the raw lobsters. The rune axe is a task, the dagger is a good training weapon, and the lobsters will be used for cooking XP. The medium gambles also have a few things that I am looking for. The rune battle axe specifically and the rune square shield are best in slot weapons in armor, and then obviously the swordfish will be good for cooking as well, as I do need to get to 80 cooking for the high gamble requirements. The high gambles give me the option to obtain magic logs and raw sharks, which respectively require 80 cooking and 75 fire making in the task. And then the granite helmet and shield require 50 strength and defense. And then obviously the 1 in 1,000 chance for the Penance Queen pet, the most difficult of the chunk. I was actually sitting in the bank trying to figure out what I wanted to use the Book of Knowledge on, and then I randomly get a second event, a dunce again. So I was forced to panic throw the book onto something. At this point in time, I wasn't sure what I was putting it in. I've now decided that it's going to be agility, but you see there that the first book I put into smithing, because if theoretically I could get to 15 smithing, I could then superheat some of the ores and train magic that way in smithing. But I ultimately decided that agility is better, because if I do roll the next chunk and it is the one north of me, that would require quite a bit of grind at 1 agility, so I'm definitely putting books into agility from now on. So I've been slowly hacking away at the chickens here. This is going to be the best way for me to train in this chunk. Obviously, I have the barbarians. There's level 10 and level 17 barbarians. I'm going to attempt to flinch one now and see if we can get our hands on that iron mace. Now, as far as the drops go for the barbarians, it depends on the level that I'm killing. Level 10 barbarians drop a bronze axe and a staff. And then the level 17 barbarians drop a iron axe and a bronze battle axe. Otherwise, between those two different items, they all drop the same things other than those two. For now, I'm going to be killing the level 10 barbarians just because they are slightly easier to kill, obviously. And then hopefully we can get our hands on that iron mace, which is a 1 in 128 drop rate. Alright, so that kill almost took me about 3 minutes, which is not very ideal. I will probably go back to the chickens. I pretty much figured it would not be ideal to do that, but I just wanted to see if I could get to the iron mace, luckily, but did not get anything. I do not know what I'm going to train to exactly at the moment. I'll just stay here until I feel like it, and then I will eventually head over to the mini game. Ideally, I need the 40 attack, 50 strength, and 50 defense, but I'm just not going to stay here for that long. I'm going to attempt the minigame at some point in time. I just need relatively good hit points at least. That way, when I do get to wave 10, the Penance Queen does not one-hit me. Hopefully, I can find somebody nice enough to let me on their team, as I will literally have no armor going into the game until I start getting some reward points. Kill number 2 for the Iron Mace, please. Coins. Okay. Not the iron mace, but we'll take it. Alright, just got 14 hit points, which is only significant because the max hit for the Penance Queen is 13, so I can officially no longer get 1 hit at least, but yeah, we're still not going into the mini game just yet. There's literally no point. I'm just going to keep... I would probably say minimum 30 hit points. I would like to think that I could at least attempt a Barbarian Assault at that point in time. Oh, wow, I just got a beginner clue from a chicken. I didn't even know that was possible. Well, this is a good talking point. As far as clues go, I do not have access to any. This chunk in particular only has a medium task in the agility area over there, which obviously I don't have 35 agility, nor do I have a way to even obtain a medium clue at the moment, so no clues are actually completable in this chunk at the current stage. Real quick, guys, I would also like to showcase my second YouTube channel to you guys. Over here, I am creating my own video game titled Striking Gold. It is a Western City-style builder type game, and if you guys are interested in stuff like this, you can also wishlist it on Steam as well. As I am currently developing it, though, it might be a while before it is officially released. But if you guys could show some love to my second channel, the link will be down below in the description, and I would highly appreciate it. What is this? Nice. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. That is the same drop rate as an Iron Mace. Could have been an Iron Mace, but instead we got a clue that I'm going to have to drop. There is a freaky forester. I am curious. I want to test something out. I've seen this in somebody else's video. I couldn't tell you whose it was, but I think you could just kill any pheasant. It doesn't even matter how many tails they have. Like, if you just kill literally any pheasant, he takes it. Okay, interesting. I mean, I might have killed the right one, but who knows? Okay, well... These are actually pretty huge, considering they give XP lamps once you get the full outfit now, so I'm definitely going to be holding on to these. Already chancing the Hardcore Iron Man status. We got 2 hit points. This thing is hitting me like a truck. I am flinching it, but just me not paying enough attention. Every now and then it does hit back, and then setting it up deals some damage too, but... yeah, I mean, I probably should cook these chicken. I haven't decided whether or not I want to train cooking in this chunk yet, just because there's really no way for me to cook it other than a bonfire. I have seen some people use bonfires, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that. There is level 20 strength, and now... Oh, I did not want to click there. Oh no. Run away. Run. Oh my god, this thing's hitting me like a truck. Okay. Now this is awkward because this happens. So I actually have to take a hit in order to get in the safe spot. There's probably a better safe spot around here. I definitely can't afford those misclicks. I just took like 6 or 7 damage right there. All right, well, before I got interrupted, I was going to say that I'm going to start training attack. I probably should do defense, to be honest with you, because I'm getting absolutely demolished. But I would like to increase my DPS. Oh my god, I got it. The Iron Mace. It's ours. No, I'm just kidding. I got the FashionScape plugin turned on. I don't actually have it. I just wanted to throw this on just to showcase what I will look like when I am going to go into the minigame. This is what peak performance looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully somebody stares at this and it says, you know what? I would like this man on my team. Hopefully. I guess we'll find out. Please. Thankfully, this chunk does have a bank. I don't know if I ever told you guys that. I'm sure you already knew, but I have been banking all of these raw chickens because this is the only way I could get to 40 cooking, so I will need quite a bit of these juicy chickens for sure. So I have been killing the level 10 barbarians this entire time, and they do not drop the bronze battle axe, so I figured I might as well start flinching the level 17 barbarians just in the hopes that I do get the battle axe. That way it will kind of help me flinch, because odds are I'll get that before I do the Iron Mace. Ask and you shall receive the bronze battle axe. Definitely not the best, and it's actually I know for a fact it's definitely slower than just punching as far as DPS goes, but when you are flinching, this is definitely going to help out. It will increase our DPS when we are flinching, which is exactly what I am doing, but if I'm killing chickens or something, this is definitely not better than just punching, but it's definitely going to help us out as far as flinching goes. Ooh, there is Mr. Evil Bob. Is this the fishing? It is. I should get level 7 fishing off of this event. Not that it does me any good because I don't have access to a small fishing net. Actually, wait, hold on. I forget you. Can I take the fishing nets off of this event? Does it let me keep it? Surely it lets me keep the fishing net. Hold on, I gotta try this out. Alright, let's see. Surely, I don't see why. Okay, it definitely took it away. That's pretty stupid, considering, I mean, I could literally go to like Temporis on another account, Temporas, however you say it, and just get infinite amount of small fishing nets. I don't see the big deal with smuggling a fishing net out of an event. That would have been pretty nice to actually obtain that. But unfortunately, it took it from me. Evil Bob is not so generous. Alright, so I'm going to discuss, since I have so much time while I'm kicking chickens here, I've been thinking a bunch, and I just kind of want to explain to you guys why I'm choosing to do cooking. Even though I technically don't have a fire to cook anything, I can use bonfires, so I will use that as an exception. But the reason being, and also the reason being behind using my lamps on agility is because of the agility shortcut that we mentioned previously in the video. Now, this shortcut does have a level 1 agility requirement. However, from my past experience, I haven't tested it anytime recently, but you do fail that course a tremendous amount of time, even at higher agility levels. So I can only imagine how many times I'm going to fail it just to get to 35 agility. Because if I do unlock that chunk, I will have to train from 1 agility or whatever I lamped it to all the way until 35 because it's technically a training method. So I will have to do it quite a bit. And instead of waiting for my health to regenerate, I will need food to eat. So that's why I've ultimately decided to utilize the bonfires to cook food. And that way, if the time does come that I will have to do that route for 35 agility, I will have a significant amount of food, hopefully, to kind of help me through that grind. So that's the thought process behind it. I believe I am able to hopefully take on a barbarian straight on now without flinching. My stats are relatively decent now. I'm not going to use the battle axe when I'm face tanking it because kicking's better. I do hit fours now with my feet as well, which is super nice, but I think the way I'm going to go about this is just kill a few if I can until my health gets low, and then I'll just wait for it to regenerate while I'm training on chickens. There is level 20 prayer. Well, that is another 1 in 128 drop rate, the same drop rate as an Iron Mace. So we've gotten the clue now. Actually, I've got 2 clues and law runes now. So I've hit the drop rate 3 times, but not lucky on the Iron Mace. There is the best in slot item for magic, the staff. No, the chunk picker does say the Iron Mace is better, but that's because, again, it didn't know that we have access to this outpost. But this is actually better. Theoretically, I could get the Lawful Battle Staff, which I think I mentioned previously, but that does require 30 magic, which I do not know if I'm even going to be able to obtain in this chunk. Only time will tell. We got to get super lucky on the maze random events. But it's super nice if I do ever plan on training magic. This will give me an auto cast, and I don't have to manually cast. I absolutely hate manually casting. So as far as flinching goes, I think the battle axe is probably still better as well. Hey, there is the bronze axe. This is not the best axe I can obtain. The level 17 barbarians do drop an iron version. However, this does mean I could theoretically woodcut now, which I have this tree here. We got a bunch of evergreens. There's even oaks and willows, but I'm not going to woodcut at the moment. I think I'm going to save this grind for when I'm doing the mini game. If I ever want to take a break from it, I could do something like woodcutting. That way, I can at least save some things just to break up the grind a bit, because once I start getting into the mini game, I will not be leaving for quite a while. So I'm going to hold off on the woodcutting for now. Yeah, this is super funny. I'm just chilling here killing chickens, and I joined or I'm not officially joined yet because the account's not old enough, but the OneChunk clan, they are literally talking about the agility shortcut here just north of us, and basically talking about how it's a meme role, basically. I haven't even mentioned this to anybody, so the fact that they're just randomly talking about it, nobody even knows that I even exist yet, so that's pretty funny. That other people are probably experiencing the same thing. That's hilarious. So because they were talking about this, I had to come test it out. I'm super curious. The wiki says it's 2 XP, which was there, but is it 2 XP every single time I jump one of these rocks, or is it 2 XP for the whole? Okay, so it's 2 XP for every single time I jump. So a total of 6 XP for each trip. So I was kind of worried it was going to be 2 XP for the whole trip, but you know, from one side to the other, but it's actually 6 XP from one side to the other. So that's a little bit better, but it's still going to be significantly difficult when I do have to do this. Oh, there it is, the Iron Mace. That is our best in slot prayer weapon. This does give a +1 prayer bonus, and that is a task completed. But this is also our best in slot weapon for the moment, because I cannot get obviously anything else until we start doing the mini games. So this should help out a little bit as far as training goes. This took me 83 kills, as you can see. So got pretty spooned, not too bad. Can't complain at all. So really the only thing I need left from barbarians is the iron axe. So I guess I gotta start killing the level 17 barbarians again, unfortunately. Oh my god, I just got a ring mold. That's also a 1 in 128 drop. That's a back-to-back 1 in 128. So that's pretty funny. There is enough raw chickens banked for 40 cooking. I've even given myself about 200 extra just for the burn rate. I would imagine I will burn quite a bit. So that should get us to 40 cooking. I'll still be collecting them just because the burn rate's going to be pretty atrocious at 40 cooking when I get any lobsters anyways. Hey, there's the iron axe, and that is officially the last item I need from the barbarians, which I'm still going to be killing quite a bit of barbarians, regardless trading combat, but this is our best axe that we can obtain until we get the rune one from the minigame. So is this the random base? It's a mime. I hate how there's like 3 different random events. They all look the same, but it's still pretty good to have. I mean, I'll eventually start getting lamps from this, so we'll take it. What's up, girl? You looking pretty fine over here. Let me get it. I'm sorry, did you just growl at me? You must be into some freaky stuff there then, huh? Oh, what the hell? Okay. I'm just trying to talk to you. There's no need to be so hostile. Damn. There is 30 defense, but also that is base level 30s on all my stats, except for prayer, which, honestly, if I would have killed chickens this entire time, I probably would have 30 prayer too. That's pretty funny. But, yeah, I'm just going to keep training up. I don't know what point I'm going to go to the minigame. I ideally need 40 attack, so I think I'm going to start working on attack now because if I can get my hands on a rune weapon from the game, that will significantly speed up training. If I'm killing barbarians, that is. It really doesn't make any difference if I'm just killing chickens, but for barbarians, 40 attack will definitely help out tremendously. Oh, wow, just hit the rare drop table. Uncut sapphire. All right, that's, what is that, 1 in 500 chance of getting? Interesting. I would have much preferred a dragon spear, but we'll take it, I guess. And there is 30 prayer. Alright, so I know I was going to get 40 attack. I know I said that, but I decided 40 defense is a better idea. So there it is, 40 defense. Now, the whole reason why I think defense is going to be a smarter choice is, for one, I could get the torso, which provides strength bonus, but also provides a tremendous amount of defense. So it's kind of like best of both worlds. So these barbarians, as you can see, are beating me up. I have 40 defense. I have 35 health. I am going to try and attempt to do the minigame now. Because if I can get my hands on that torso, it's just going to help training tremendously. So it's probably more wise to go down in there now, get my hands on the torso, and then see if we can't get a couple of people to help us out. But this is what we're going into the minigame looking like. I mean, absolutely look like a gangster. Roll it up in here. Hopefully, somebody lets me on their team. This is arguably probably going to be the most difficult part of the account, is starting off in the minigame with no gear, because nobody's going to want me on their team. But that torso right there, that's probably what I am working towards. We'll need 375 points in each roll. The gloves and boots and whatnot, all of those are pretty handy, and I definitely need to obtain all of them at some point in time. But enough trading for now. I think we're ready to give it our first attempt in the minigame. So I guess I'll just deposit everything. Let's just, well, definitely don't want to enter that. We'll use the deposit box here. Put everything in, make my way down the ladder, and hopefully can find somebody willing to let me join their team. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. I would appreciate everybody who does support me by any means necessary. So thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end, and stay tuned for the next episode where we find out if I can actually manage to get us a torso.